Hey guys, so today we're at the OCMA. You guys know what that stands for. It's the Orange County Museum of Art. Today, Sarah and I, we interned together. We were told by our practicum supervisor that we need to come and interpret art by practicing what is called function and form. We'll kind of get more into the explanation of those things as we look at different art pieces to help kind of explain the mental process that goes on. The reason why this is important is because this will help us to better understand and connect with people out in the real world, especially in our line of work. We want to be able to better understand our clients. And a lot of times, these clients are not very forthcoming with a lot of the information they share, and so it helps us to kind of guide our questions to help to get to know them better and understand their story. So looking at this photograph, let's kind of break things down. He wants us to break things down into function and form. So form is kind of like interpreting like the literal description of like what you're observing. So if we're looking at this, we might say she's wearing a red sweater. What else would you say?
I would say it is an oversized sweater, so it's bulky.
Bulky, there's words on it. It says Guess, which tends to be like a nicer brand.
It looks very soft, like cotton.
Yeah, made out of cotton material, drawstrings, and it seems like maybe like hair is a little bit messy, which you could see from the baby hairs. Anything else for form?
Gold jewelry that she's wearing, hidden underneath the sweater with little sparkles of diamonds in the gold.
Right. And then a plain background. Yeah. Okay. And then if we go to function, so it's like, what is the function of this red sweater, or like the function of what's going on in the picture? If I were to describe that, I would say like the clothing is meant to like cover herself.
To keep warm.
Keep warm, yeah. The function of a sweater is to help you keep warm. The name Guess maybe might be to like portray some sort of like, what is it? Like, not, like I guess like luxury, like yeah. Some glam. She does have a necklace on too, which the function of that could be to draw attention to.
But it's interesting because it contrasts the sweater being oversized and bulky, and she's wearing her hood, so it could almost be like she's hiding.
Right.
So to hide could be the function.
And then also I'm noticing that the strings are tied really loose. So the function of that could be like in the oversized sweater is that she might want something more comfortable. Yeah. We go to concrete?
Yeah.
Okay. Concrete is like the literal, actual like meaning of what we're interpreting, right? So this could be some form of art, which we are in an art museum, so that would make sense. What else?
If you're going concrete with what she's wearing and her appearance, you would say that the red sweater is to... It almost like becomes a part of her because she's putting it on, and so it adds to her appearance. It's concrete. Your clothes become a part of you.
I don't know if there is any more concrete. No. Okay. So if we go to abstract, it's like, what is like the interpretation of looking at this photograph or piece of art that's not like literally on the photo. And so looking at this, I might say that maybe this person is like someone who really values comfort, but also like wanting to still have some sort of like attention brought to her.
I would say looking at this for the abstract, you can tell by her figure she's a very petite woman or girl, yet she's wearing this oversized hoodie and she has the hood on, and so it's almost like she's trying to hide herself, whether that's her physique, who she is as a person. She's trying to hide, she's trying to cover
Maybe the mess with like the messy hair. There's kind of like a lot going on there. And then her facial expression's also kind of really like soft and like neutral.
Yeah.
That's like form, but what would be like abstract of her? I mean, I guess it kind of goes along with comfort. It looks like her face is like relaxed, kind of.
It's interesting too because with the abstract, you can tell her hoodie is tied very loose, and because it's so oversized, maybe she feels more comfortable when she's not constrained. So whether if that's life, like not being constrained to something, being able to like leave freely and like move around.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for joining us on art number 1, function and form. Guys, look how big this elevator is. Hi, Sarah. All right, guys, this is art piece number 2. We wanted to do something a little bit harder, just to challenge ourselves and also to kind of help you get a better idea of how to apply this to other things outside of people. So if we're looking at this, let's start with form, right? So the form is like, what are we actually seeing? There's a lot of dark color, almost kind of like crayon, or maybe there's like watercolor paint, maybe a mix of both.
Form disproportionate. If you look, you can tell the head is a lot bigger than the body.
That is also true. There also seems to be like multiple people included in this drawing. There's the big creature-like figure, but there's also 2 people standing on the legs, it seems like. And then there's also some individual person's hands coming from the side. But yeah, 2 hands are also involved.
Sharp with the teeth, you can tell they're more jagged than like normal teeth.
Right. The eyes seem kind of like dull. Maybe more on like the tired side.
You can tell it's
there's a lot of
messy.
It's really
compared to
messy.
Normal artwork, so just kind of smudged everywhere.
Yes, lots of smudges. There seems to be a lot of facial expressions going on, whether it's smiling, frowning, angry, or like an evil, devious smile at the bottom. A lot of pointy, jagged edges.
Also a lot of circles.
And a lot of circles, yeah. And there's kind of like a bit of a shadow where the feet are, it looks like.
If you look, the background is not on like a normal clear, even yellow piece of paper.
It looks like a cloth.
Yeah, it looks like a cloth, but also if you see the background, it's almost like they want it to be smudged. And so the background's almost like a weird gray.
Right. All right. Well, then if we go to function, looking at this function-wise, what are we thinking? I think maybe the function of this is to like express some sort of emotion, since there's a lot of emotional stuff going on this painting or drawing. Function. I mean, it is like a piece of art too, or form of art.
The function of the art is to observe, like to appreciate.
Yeah, we can observe and appreciate it, of course. To interpret. Yeah, it's meant to interpret. Put meaning to it. I don't know if I have any more for.
Function of art could be to draw conclusions and interpret about the artists and like their state of mind and their intentions for creating this artwork.
Alright, so then it leads us to concrete. What is like the literal actual like purpose of this piece of art?
It's expression.
Yeah, it's expression. Literally a form of art. An actual like creature, monster. And like actual portrayals of human emotion. And then abstract? Yeah. Okay. If I'm looking at abstract, or thinking about abstract, should I say, because you can't see it, I would say that maybe the kid that made this piece of art is experiencing a lot of different emotions.
And as a kid, it can be hard to navigate our emotional worlds as we're learning to figure out emotional regulation. And so that can come out in the forms of art. Yeah.
On top of that, I would say it's interesting how he put the emotions below, like on his body. So I would say almost he's repressing these emotions. Like if I were to look at these emotions, it's happy, sad, angry, and almost like this manic look or this like, evil look. And he's pushing those down, and instead he has such a neutral facial expression, like no light behind his eyes.
Yeah, he has very dull eyes. I think the big head is kind of interesting. Like maybe that could symbolize ego and how his ego is getting in the way of being able to express these emotions naturally in a healthy way. Which is why it's being repressed and pushed down. And it looks like these hands are like reaching out to him. Maybe these hands are meant to help him as like could be like a parental figure. I know some contexts of these like drawings and paintings that you kind of see around us, all made by the same person. His mother kind of helped to like recreate these images that her child was drawing. So maybe this is like her reaching out to her son.
Yeah, that's good. What would you say about the two stick figures kind of on his legs on either side?
They're really relatively small, so maybe it's like he like maybe longs for some sort of emotional connection with people, but it's so far away from him because his head is like so far up. Yeah.
It's interesting too on that line, like his hands on the end, they are very pitch black dark.
They are very
meant
dark.
to color him that way, and I wonder if he feels like he's not able to reach others or people aren't able to reach him.
Yeah, there's no hands there.
Yeah, there's missing that physical connection.
No way to be able to grasp that connection with others. Yeah. And the pointy, jagged teeth, I think, just kind of adds to this like whole ambiance of like he's not someone that you can comfortably connect with. He has all these jagged pieces to him. Yeah. But yeah, this is art piece number 2. Thank you for joining us. We will be on to our last piece. Hey guys, we're back for art piece number 3. We chose something that's a lot harder. Side note, we're just trying our best because we're also just learning this new concept along with you guys, but we're here to help kind of teach it as well, just to help solidify it in our memory. But all right, let's get started. So if we're looking at the form of this piece of art, there's a lot going on here. There's a lot of vibrant colors. Seems to be a lot of different people involved. A lot of nudity. There's planes, helicopters, birds.
A lot of objects.
The elements of fire, water. It kind of seemed like a government building in the top right corner.
A lot of death.
A lot of death going on as well. But at the same time, a lot of like life with flowers and the people involved. And then there's a lot of musical elements and kind of art, I guess, in that sense of music, art, TV.
A lot of animals. You can see she's playing with a snake. A lot of water you see.
Yeah, there's money too at the bottom right.
It's almost mixing like old ancient with like new. You see like the helicopters and the plane and almost like the Capitol building.
You can see Greek animal human people. Centaurs, I believe.
A lot of the objects are not the correct sizes. Like you see that giant apple, and then the people in the painting is so much smaller.
Yeah. Okay. Should we go down to what we did? We did form. So now we got to do the function. The function of this piece is to express something, give a message. It's meant to interpret.
I would almost say to let out. Like these are a lot of different images and thoughts and themes, and it's almost like just letting this all out.
I think Another function is to display many aspects of life.
Yeah. Maybe display consequences. In this, you know, this woman is like a rock star. You see, I guess, the hands with the money, like handcuffed, which could be depicting like greed, which is a consequence. All the death and like satanic themes going on here could be consequences of like being a rock star.
Right. Right. Is that it for?
Yeah, I mean, that's what a function of like artwork and that. It's to appreciate.
Yeah.
Every sense of expression.
It's meant to appreciate expression.
That's all.
All right. Well, if we go to concrete, I think what we're actually looking at here is, I don't want to go into abstract. I'm trying to think. I think concrete is just that it's literally a piece of art. It's a painting that's on a wall.
Open for interpretation.
Open for interpretation. I feel like there's more to concrete, but I'm not quite sure. There's a lot going on here. Maybe.
To capture life.
Yeah. Okay, I can see that. It is capturing life in its different aspects. Go to abstract.
Yeah.
All right, abstract. So there's many different things going on here. I'm seeing that there's, I forgot to mention in form that there was a tattoo also on this girl's arm, and colored hair. I know that like abstractly, you can kind of interpret that this girl is trying to express her inner struggle and pain that she's experiencing through art, whether that be tattoos or coloring her hair, or even through music, or like there seems to be a lot of musical elements in this piece with the record, the guitar. There's a lot of painting too, like painting is a form of expression, and then TV and like the media as well.
It's interesting. I wasn't even thinking about her clothes, and now that I'm looking, like she's wearing a cheetah print top, which is it's an animal, very primal, like letting out her primal urges, and even like showing her bra strap, like you know, being like a sex symbol or appeal, with her like short skirt, and how it's like very low and to your back.
She's like wanting attention, like she's desiring that attention from other people.
And it's interesting if you think that like these heels are hers, there's a skull underneath it and a baby. And it's like maybe she'll step on people and do what she needs for either this attention or maybe this career she has in rock, whatever it is, whatever it takes.
But yeah, it seems like maybe she's like trying to cope with like the stressors of life. Because I see like people on like the left-hand corner carrying heavy rocks, which is like a symbol of like hard labor. Or these four girls that are in kind of like the center-ish of this painting, carrying like a almost like satanic like figure. There's a lot of like labor stuff going on, and then also at the bottom right corner with the hand handcuffed to the cash, it's like kind of like highlighting our capitalistic economy and how we're like forced to work to be able to make money and survive.
There's a lot of death going on, and it's interesting because around the guitar is a snake and she's like playing with it, and if we were doing like a religious interpretation, like seeing her spirit as a snake, and so it's almost like she's playing with evil, you know, to have this lifestyle, and you see the evil interpretations throughout the photo with the satanic like goat on the human, and like even the like backstabbing and like killing going on. It's very interesting.
Or like it looks like this girl is holding an electronic device in water, which we know symbolizes like death. Because that would like actually electrify her. There's a lot of skeletons too, and blackbirds do also symbolize like death. In the top left. Yeah, and also like the whole government's like the stressors of our government and like the different wars going on. Just like the everyday life struggles that everyone I think has to live with.
You see a lot of like backstabbing with these two individuals. The woman's laying down with a knife in her back, and then it almost looks like her friend or some woman is laying next to her with now like a huge shotgun.
But it also, the clothing and the iron on the right side maybe might even indicate like a need to display being perfect in this world full of stressors, which is like also stressful to try to appear perfect all the time.
You see people escaping this grave. It's almost like trying to escape like death. Escape destruction.
That's all we got.
So if you're wondering how you can apply function and form out in the real world with clients, basically you take all this information that you gathered, and it doesn't have to just be an object like person or thing. It can literally be anything, even like an action or something that they keep doing. But once you are interpreting it in your mind, you can ask the client questions like, hey, like, I noticed that you really like to wear sweaters all the time. What's that about? And then when they give you more information, like, oh yeah, I totally get that. You seem like someone that likes to be, or someone that maybe values comfort. And the client might be like, you know what? Yeah, like, you're right. I really do love comfort. And so as you learn more about their background history and you find different moments that maybe this person has displayed that they've chosen comfort over something, you can use that to point that out in therapy and be like, hey, like, remember this event and how you said you valued comfort? This is that showing up again. And then it kind of opens that door to be able to engage deeper in conversations in therapy. But that's just like an easy example. Obviously, you can do this with more complex things, but yeah, that's how you apply function and form. If you have any questions, please reach out. We're also just learning this concept as well at our practicum site, but yeah, it's pretty interesting. But thanks, that's all I have for today. I'll see you guys soon.